This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so we're getting started in the middle of the 5th chapter of the Gateway of Service of Hashem, on page 237 in one of the English translations, page 295 in the big blue, and
In
Safaria chapter
is
5, paragraph
525.
25. Good, thank you,
525.
Melvin. 525, and I know where I am over here. Okay, so let's pick up over there. And let's see if we could finish out this chapter. Okay, Ze Amar Nefesh. Now, as we've been saying, the Nefesh refers to that Nefesh Behemiot, right? That the part of us, yes, that's pulled towards the physical, pulled towards the material, pulled towards the sensual. Guys, I just have to mute you, otherwise we get some bounce back. Nothing personal. Okay. Yeah. Ze yikshalai liparei mimenu mipnei orech regilute bo. We ended off last week that the two main categories that we need to separate ourselves from is from the motarei, all the excess when it comes to the physicality, right? Food, drink, garments, etc. And the second base midah, that is the excessive dibur, speaking, and kavod, honor, kina, jealousy, all those good things. So I understand. So he says it's hard for me to separate in the orech regilu tibo because I've had such a lengthy accustomed to it. Lachain horeini, therefore show me, teach me be'ezapanim yakel alai. Right? In what way will it be easier? Amar Asecha lo yadata, you know. Ki amaschil yakel beinav lichrot netach echad minitachav ulipaked ever echad meivarav kishieru labo choli uipachad mihitpashtuto mihitpashtato bashar hitpashto. Thank you, bashar evarav. Yeah. Okay. So a wise person understands, and it will be an easy decision to reach, to have an operation or even to have part of the body removed, right? An amputation, if there is an illness, and out of fear that that will then spread to the rest of the body, right? Person, Rahman al-Litzlan, heaven forbid, has cancer. Right? The body gets bombarded with that chemo. I mean, it's right. But a person goes ahead and does that, or a person, heaven forbid, needs to have an amputation in order that it will not spread to the rest of the body. Then it's very clear that a person will do that. Ma sheyesh bein shnei hinyanim umakir ma sheyesh bein shtei haraot. When he weighs the two positives and the two negatives, right? It becomes very, 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 very clear, right? I'd rather be comfortable and not have to go through this operation. I'd rather be alive. I'd rather not lose a limb. I'd rather not lose my life. All right, it's pretty clear decision. V'chein at, so too here. Im tirtzi shetakel beinecha predat ma shepredato kasher. If you want to make it an easier decision for you to separate from that which you are finding it difficult to separate, sima libcha vishtamshi bevinatcha. Take to heart, process through your mind, b'shikul ma sheyesh bein atova shetagia elacha b'hipardecha mimenu. Right, weigh the benefits that you'll get when you will separate yourself from it. V'hara'a shetimsotcha b'hatmatat chevrato, and the evil that will find you if you maintain this consistent closeness with all of these things. V'az takel beinecha Preda ma sheyiksha mimyotcha amugunot. And then it'll be easier for you to separate that which you're finding difficult to separate from your midotcha hamugunot, from your difficult midot. Steve, good evening. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well over there
See
in San
you.
Diego. We miss you over here. Are you in
Yeah.
Safaria?
No, I have the book.
You have the book. Okay. Which book? Show me the book you have. Steve, just show me the book for a
My
second.
camera on, but it's the Feldheim.
Your camera
I
is
think
on.
you're on 295.
Okay, if you got it, even
It is
better.
on?
Yeah, 290 something, Robin?
296.
And you,
95.
296, the middle paragraph. Good.
96.
Rabbi,
Okay. Okay.
can you just give us the location
Thank
we're
you.
at again? I'm sorry. We're on Sha'ar Shalosh, right? Rishi?
Shar Avodat Elokim, Perek 5, Perek Hamishi.
And which pasuk?
Are you in Safaria?
Yes.
So Safaria now is probably 5. We just finished section 26, about to start 27.
Thank
Okay, good. Now, to me, it's fascinating and it's very telling that this is what he compares it to. So we think, okay, cancer, you have to go for chemo, right? And of course, if you have this raging infection that is, in a part of your body that you're in danger of dying, so of course you go for that, right? But that's what he compares this, these cleansing oneself, this detachment from these midot that drag us down, because he's looking at it. In other words, I think we all fall victim to, there's the reality of life, right? Sickness. And then there's this, spiritual stuff, this Olam Haba stuff, yeah. But it doesn't have that immediacy, and it doesn't have that urgency that we feel when it comes to the things that the challenges, health challenge, whatever it might be that we confront in our lifetime. But he's looking at Kihem Chayenu. There are actually halachot that if a person has his father has a lost object that you come across, and your Rebbe, and a Rebbe means someone that you've learned most of your wisdom from him. Not your fifth grade Rebbe, not that you came to a class at Beth Jacob, but someone who's someone who's literally your Rebbe. So the Gemara says, if you can only take care of one, so then the Rebbe goes before the parent. Why? Because one brought you into this world, which is a very limited, transient world, and the others bring you into the eternal world. So even though it might seem a bit jarring that this is what he's comparing it to, but that's what he's comparing it to, right? But because we don't have that sense of immediacy and urgency and sense of it being tangibly in front of us, right? It seems to be a bit jarring. But he goes right for the jugular over here. He's not playing games. Yeah. Amra Nefesh. The Nefesh says, Umahi Hatova Shetagie Lai Befridato. Well, what is the benefits? What is the good that will come to me through my separating myself from it? V'hara'ah, and the evil asher timatseoti that will befall me, b'hatmadato, if I will consistently remain entrenched and beholden to all these things that right now I'm somewhat entrenched and beholden.
I don't think they know, right? Nobody could tell you until it happens. Right?
Correct. No one knows. No, right?
We say, maybe that was it.
Ayin lo rasa, right? And no eye has seen it, but he'll give it a shot. Amar aseh chalatova, the good is shalvat nafshecha umenuchata mima'afal kiderot ha'olam. A shalva of nafshecha, a tranquility of the soul, umenuchata, and its serenity, mima'afal kiderot ha'olam, from the raging tempests of this world, from all of the ups and downs and the that which we go through in this world. Shahanaotav mu'uravot, that any of our pleasure here is always mixed ba'atzavim, with a certain degree of sadness. V'tavotav, and all of our desires are all nifsakot, they come to an end at a relatively quick pace. V'yaviacha ze lahakir, and this will bring you to recognize ba'acharit cheskat hakaratcha bebeit margoacha, and then you can understand, and through that you can get a very clear understanding that the place of the true rest and the true happiness and the true serenity is bebeit margoacha, is in the place where we will ultimately arrive. V'shetishtadel lo v'tachush elav, right? And you will work towards that and put your efforts to reach that point. V'ashar hazeh mi sharei hatavot asher hatzalatcha v'chiyutcha bahem. And the gate, this gate towards the good, that is where your hatzalatcha v'chiyutcha bahem, that is where you will be saved and you will be truly, truly alive. Ach hara'ah, but the ra'ah is mishiva dagatcha, worry after worry, v'hachfalat yigoncha, and tremendous sorrow, v'hatmadat avlecha, and constant mourning, v'he'ader mishalotecha, when you don't have what it is that you want, ba'olam hazeh, in this world. Asher im tagi alehen, because if you do get there, tagi el hahevel, then you recognize that even once you've got it, so what is it? Asher ein lo kiyum v'lo atmada, it doesn't last, it's not consistent. Ki hu holech el zulatcha b'li safek. Ultimately, everything that you amass will go on to someone else, right? He can't take it with you. You don't take it along with you, right? Actually, the Or HaChaim it's the Kli Yakar, on this week's Parsha, we speak about the Machatzit HaShekel. You give a half shekel. Why not give a whole shekel? Why did the Torah say give a half shekel? To remind us that when it comes, sometimes it's hard to give, right? Well, to remind us that no matter what we have, we'll only have half of what we right? We can never, if I keep this, no, right? No matter what you have, it's always going to be a machatzit, right? It's always going to be half of what you want, and there have been many polls, right? How much would you need to earn in order to be truly happy? And people earn between 50 and 100. Oh, about 150 is what I would need. People earn 100 to 150. Oh, about 200 is what I need. Right? People are earning 400 to 500. Oh, 700 is what I would need. Those who are earning 1.5 million, if only be earning 2.5 million. Right? Azoy gate. That's how it goes. Below yishaer biyadcha olam hazeh, below tagi el haba. There will not remain in your hand anything relating to this world, and you can't bring it. Below tagi el haba, right? And you can't bring it with you to the next world. So interesting. Who's I just talking to? Who was it? Yeah, someone was telling me that he works with this older Persian Jewish fellow, right? And the person is very, very well-to-do and well advanced in years and is still working really, really hard. and clearly is no longer does not need to be working this hard to be earning that much money, right? And he asked them, like, why? And the person said, I don't know whose belief this is, not a Jewish belief, that as much as you have, as you amass in this world, when you return to this world, that's how much you will have, right? And which is like the antithesis, right? We say, as much as you give away in this world towards worthy causes, that is how much you will have
not what you
upon the return,
Yeah.
right? And I've shared with you a famous story about Mr. Reichman, who was a tremendous philanthropist, right? And left in his sava, in his will to his children, that he wants to be buried in he's a certain pair of socks that he really loves, right? And the children approached the Chevra Kadisha. We know this is out of the ordinary, but it's very important. This is our father's request. As a mister, listen to the words of the maid, blah, 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 blah. Right? To bury him in those socks. Instead of we have set tachrich and burial shrouds that everyone, right? And the Chevra Kadisha, refused, right? Refused.
Rabbi?
Just 1 minute. Afterwards, there was another letter that they opened up from their father, which said, I'm sure by now you're well aware that the Chevra Kadisha did not honor the request that I asked you to make, right? Right? Realize, right? You can't even take a pair of socks along with you. So please continue in my philanthropic ways and continue to act in such a fashion. Leah, you were first, and then Melvin.
The question about the nefesh, the sechel was referring to the shalva, to the peace of the nefesh, if she lets go of all the passions and all that. But is the peace in this world or the next world?
Both. I would say it's both. It's both. We're going to come to in more detail, but yeah, it's interesting. When he said shalvat nafshecha, I don't think he was referring to the nefesh of the nefesh, but we would say the equanimity, the peace of one's spirit, right? And because we'll see that he'll be talking about both, because we'll be talking about how one can weather the ups and downs in this world when one accepts that it's not haphazard, but this is under the direct guidance of our loving parent. Yes, Melvin.
So this older guy's myth about earning as much money as possible, because when you come back, it will be
Waiting
there
for you.
So I believe that is absolutely a mice, because for most of us that we leave any of our what we've accumulated in this life, we leave it to our children and grandchildren. I can assure you, when we're coming back, there's not going to be much left.
They haven't been holding it waiting for us. No, I hear that. Yeah. Okay. Amra hanefesh, havinoti ma shezacharta. I understood what you've mentioned. V'ani mekaveh, and I hope shetakel beinai, it'll become easier in my eyes, lighter in my eyes, ba'avuro, because of your explanation. Predat ma shaya alai kasher koron l'chein, that which I previously found difficult. Achosivili sha'ar sheni mofnei harafuah. Give me a little bit more. Yoreni ma shechafatzi b'avanot elokim, to show me, right, how I can do that which I hope when it comes to my avodas Hashem, serving Hashem. Amra Seichel, the Seichel continues and says, Memshalat davar u'kalo shelinehu shetikabli alayich mima shelamal mimcha ma sha'at rotzeh sheikabel mimcha alav mishu lamata mimcha. Okay. Be willing to show to the one who is above you that which you would expect to be shown by someone who is beneath you. Okay? Im hishtabut harachim. And he's going to compare it to a slave. And we don't really have slaves. To me, slaves don't really speak to me, right? But the idea of someone that you've done everything for that person. And really, really, from A to Z, I've taken care of that person. Educated, maybe even our children, educated, clothed, right? You've done everything for them. Imish tabut harachim, and keeping in mind that whatever you've done for someone cannot compare an iota to what God has done for you. And that which you would consider to be good actions or bad actions. So that's how you should be acting in kind to the one who is above you. Hosifali, Perush Bior, explain it a little further. The Nefesh said, Amara Seichel, Halil Datcha, Tovata Lukim Alecha. Right? Think about all the good that Hashem has done for you. V'masha kolel otcha im zuatcha, that He's given to you and to others. Umasha at miyuchedet bo, and that which He's given particularly to you. Right? You have 2 hands, thank God, 2 eyes. Right? So that's general good that He's given to you, each of which are worth millions of dollars by our own assessments. And then your own personal situations and blessings that you have in your families, in your friendships, in your relationships, and your health, and all of these things. And then take to mind if you had done a similar amount of good to that servant of yours, the way you would want him to approach you, the face you'd like to see from him. That's how you should be showing your face, your attitude to your Creator. And that which you would consider to be unseemly behavior towards you, so make sure that you're not exhibiting that unseemly behavior towards above. The Never should have noti. I understand much. I understand in general. Do me a chesed. Do me a kindness. Uber oto li befrat, and give me a more detailed explanation of this. Amar Seichel. The Seichel says, "Haninam shehem tovim me'echad me'avdei ha'olam shineheg bam lifnei adonav." Right. Well, the way that the actions of good or of appreciation of this servant to this master, when he has given just a small bit of that which our Creator has given us, mehem, list among the list, levado, that you would give all the kavod, all the honor, levado, to him alone. B'dibor, with our words, uvamasa, with our actions. V'shianeman, and to be trustworthy. Umishtadel b'inyanav, to try to do things on behalf of that person. Bigalui ubaseter, bigalui, when you're being watched, ubaseter, and when you are all alone. V'shiyiroto, and to have the sense of awe. V'yichol mimenu, and even a sense of fear. Calls manshu omilefanav, when you're standing before him. Kamosh Omar Ksata Chasidim, like some of the Chasidim would say, Al tamre et adonecha, fuhu roeh otcha. Right? Do not rebel against your master while he's looking at you. Right? And of course we have that ayin, roeh, that eye that's always watching. And to be humble before one's master, benir b'masav, with that which is visible from one's actions, uvaseitin matzpono, and also what's going on in a person's mind, right? V'shinaheg v'shiflut lefanav malbusho uvamidotav, and to act with a modesty in front of him in one's garments, what manner of dress, in one's midot, v'yichabdeyu, and to honor him, v'yiromemeyu, and to exalt him, bilishono, with one's mouth, ubilvavo. He keeps going up and back over here, right? That it's not just this external show, but that it needs to permeate who we are. That's in our words and in our heart, right? And he said before also, and the outside, right? Nira b'masav uvaseitem matzmonav, and also how we're feeling inside. V'shiyishbach yishabeach v'yodoto v'yomov v'leilo, and to praise and give thanks, right? Day and night. V'shiyazkir tovotav, and to remember the good that he has done. V'seitur v'galui, right? And just one second. Yeah. Whether you are, right, to give this praise and to mention it, whether you're in front of others or whether you're just on your own, right? And to tell, speak his praises. Kavisha roylo, in the right, according to that which is fitting. And to run, to do that one's bidding with happiness. Uvatov levav, and a glad heart, me'avato, out of this love, sheyimtza chen beinav, and a want to find favor in that person's eyes, right? You know, it's funny, whenever I go to Olam, to the preschool, right? I do my little guitar gig on Friday with them, Kabbalat Shabbat, and I do Parsha with them on Mondays. So it's the funniest thing. Kids run up to me, look, I'm wearing this, and I have this, and you know, I say, oh, that's such a nice dress. Oh, such a nice. Oh, what a beautiful shirt. You know. So they want to appear good, you know, in front of me. You know, it's so sweet, you know. But that's how we're supposed to be, right? That's how we're supposed to be. That we just so much want to show what's good about us, you know, to Hashem. Yeah.
So
I'm sorry?
this is all relating to Hashem, not like a master.
It's both. If this is what you'd expect from this servant to the master, then how much more so, right, from us to our master, to Hashem. Yikarev l'ratzono, and to draw close to his ratzon, his will. V'yitchanen lo tamid l'ratzototo u'lechaper lo, and to constantly plead to overlook any of our missteps. V'yaveyu, and to not just love him, but to make him be beloved, right? To make others love him. Mikatser, and to be afraid lest one will fall short in that which we've been commanded. Mitzvotav, to keep the mitzvot. And to distance oneself from that which the Torah, which God has warned us to stay away from. And to take to heart that mistakes that we have. Min ha'avonot. Just one second. Yeah, and to take to heart where we have fallen short. V'yirbu be'einav tovotav, and to be, and all the good that Hashem has given us, that should be yirbu. We should view that fully. V'yigdalu v'yivez ma'aseu b'tzad mashu chayav lo v'yima'et. right? And to minimize that which I must do to him and not think, oh, I'm so great, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I give this tzedakah, I did this chesed. And to be any of the ever that we're putting in to minimize vis-a-vis that which we should be doing. V'yodeh b'katnut malato be'enav etzel gdulat al-danav v'nafsho. And to admit, to recognize just how small we are compared to this master of ours. V'yir b'lishtachavot v'lechrolo kriya uchniya, and to increase our bowing, our humbling ourselves, v'shiyiftach bo b'chol tzrachav, to trust in him for all of our needs, v'sheyirtze b'chol inyan sheya'atikanu elav, and to willingly accept all that which comes our way, all that which he is ma'atik eleno, that which he sends towards us. The im yashbiyehu, and if God is filling up our bounty, yodeh v'yishabeach, thank, praise. V'im yarivehu, and if we're hungry, yirtzeh v'yispol, accept it, bear it. Lo yichashdenu b'dino, don't be choshe, don't suspect him that he's doing something that is an injustice. Lo ya'avlenu b'gzerotav, don't turn his decree into an avla, into an injustice. But a person should feel that whatever Hashem has given him, that is enough. V'yatzdikenu, v'yasroto, and to be matzdik him, to justify whatever comes our way. Umimashu tov mimenu od, larot simanei ha'avodah, v'ha'sheyeh mekaneh alav b'chol tnuot everav uv'midotav. Right? That it would show from laharot, to show that I am in the service of this God in all that I do. Lo yehageh ki im v'zichro. If I'm going to speak, I'm going to mention God's name. Please God, thank God, God willing, to recognize that. V'lo yabit ki im el drachav, and to look towards his ways. V'lo yishama ki im el davrav. And what do I listen to? Right? Whose words are the final say? God's words, Devarav. Lo yechol elama shehitrifo, to only eat that which he has set aside for me. Lo yachshov, and to think, but not to think about God's greatness. Lo yishamesh elabit soto, lo yasis elabit soto oto. And one's true happiness is when one is doing the right things, when Hashem is happy with us. Lo yismach kim bavraso, and to be happy, rejoice in serving him. Lo yivakesh kim ratzono, and to only want what he wants. Lo yarutz kim shiddo, only run for the things that he wants us to run for. Lo yamod ki im me ham ruto, right? And v'lo yamod ki im me ham ruto, and to not hold oneself back only from those things that are against his will. V'lo yeshev kim v'veito, and to sit in his house. V'lo yakum kim, and to always rise up with that faith. V'lo yikra kim sifro, all that I'm going to read is his book. Right? I mean, this is pretty intense. This is pretty intense. This is yeah. V'lo yilbash ki'im sut yirato, right? And only to wear the garments of his awe. V'lo yishan kim al yitzvei avato, and to go to sleep with a sense of love for Hashem. V'lo yitdameh lo ki'im tmunato, right? And when I'm imagining things, my thoughts are running to God. V'lo ya'or ella b'matikat zichro, right? And I go to sleep thinking about, and I wake up. You know, the Rambam writes that, like a person who is lovesick, right? A person who's completely infatuated and they can't. I'm sorry. That's all I think about. That's how we're supposed to be. Lo yinsa karat ruach ki animo, and one's true happiness is when he is with him. Lo yivrach ki im meham rutan, and only to flee from those things that will be marut ruchol, that will cause Hashem, so to speak, anguish. Lo yavel kim be'et ka'aso, and you're sad, you're mourning when God is angry. Lo yifached kim yifachto alav, right? And the only fear that we have is not of other people, not what people will say, not what people will do, but from Hashem. Lo yikaveh ki chasto, and our hope is for His chesed, right? We say in a davening, Al tibtechu v'nadivim, don't put your trust in other people. Recognize that ultimately any chesed that you have, right, no matter through which conduit it might be coming, it's coming from Hashem. Lo yichas ki im b'mash mechayev ritzono, right? The only things that should get us angry are those things that are supposed to get us angry. Interesting, he puts it like that, right? The Gemara actually says that the person gets angry, it's like worshiping idolatry, right? And a person ideally should never get angry. He might have to look angry at times. I've shared stories from when I was running a camp with little kids and had to look angry, and it was kind of funny, right? But I had to look angry, to have some semblance of discipline in the camp, right? But ideally, you don't want to, right? Ideally, one does not get angry, and it's interesting as a grandparent, right? The things that as a parent, right, might have or would have or did get me angry, as a grandparent, it's funny.
So cute.
It's funny, right? Now, it's funny because I don't have to clean it up afterwards, right? So it's funny in that respect. But it's also, I think it's funny because we have a different perspective on life at this point. And you realize it's funny.
Because the ultimate responsibilities of the parents.
Right.
Yeah. So there certainly is that the ultimate responsibilities on the parents, but also you recognize,
Things aren't such a big deal.
it's not such a big deal,
when you,
right? Yeah. Lo yirtze ela b'mi shoseh ritzono, and to love someone who does what Hashem loves. Lo yikach ki im b'shuto, whatever I take, I'm taking it if I have permission. Lo yiten l'mi shetzivat lo lo, and I'm giving to whoever I am supposed to be giving it to. V'chein b'chol tenuotav, with all one's movements. Lo yatik regel, not to move a foot. Lo yaniya af, or to flutter an eyelid. Ella achar afakat ritzon adnabehem, right, to be completely beholden, right. Aval hem yanim shem ra'im mena eved, and the things that are on the negative from the eved, hem hefech kol hatovim. That's the opposite of all that we just said, right. Hefech kol hatovim beinei adonav mimenu. Uvahavcham yizakru dvaram. The exact opposite you'll understand. Ukfar echinoti v'kibatzti lecha mehem klal sheyesh bodai. I've already gathered, right, a klal, a general rule, sheyesh bodai, that suffices. Yoreh otcha, that will show you al shirutam v'alavcham, right, what's left and the flip side of each. V'kevan shehatov me'avdei ha'olam beinei adonayim kamosha siparnu. So if this is what is good, that in the eyes of the world, of a person to his master, and we've already gone through, what does any human being ever really do for another human being, right? And if this is what we would expect, kama at chayevet le'elokim yitbarach, right? How much are we obligated to Hashem? Multiples of that which we have mentioned. In order to pay back somewhat the abundance of good that we are awash with. Yeah, this is quite a list over here, and I'm sorry?
That's what I was wondering.
Is it possible, you're asking? Yeah.
Is that
I would say great tzaddikim. Is that possible for me? I would say no, absolutely not. Right? And there is a concept, bitulo hi kiyumo. Right? The bitul, which is the non-performance, is the way to maintain it. Meaning, everyone needs to take a little bit of a break. I don't think we can have that intensity, right? So we all need to. I say let my hair down. I don't have any hair, but you know what I mean, right? We need that little bit of downtime, of relaxation, of right. But the idea is to try to stay as focused as we can. And if we can have this focus in different situations, someone's getting under your skin, really, really pushing your buttons, right? And you feel that temper rising, right? If a person can stop for a moment and just look over that person's shoulder and see, and there's Hashem saying, "Okay, Ciner, how are you going to handle this one?" Right? If a person could take that deep breath, right, and remove oneself from getting sucked in to all that's going on, and to stay above the fray and say, "Okay, this is a challenge." Hashem, if someone would whisper in your ear, right? No, even better. Don't say it, or even better, this person's just trying to get your. Don't fall for it. Right, which is different thing, right? Don't say it is. Don't fall for it. Right, the person's just trying to get you to push your buttons. Yeah, riled up. Right, don't fall. Right. So that's basically what he's doing. He's whispering in our ears. Right. Realize that every situation that comes your way is this opportunity to either fall or to rise above, and the degree to which a person is able to extricate themselves from the passions of the moment and view it as an outsider and say, well, looking back on this, how would I like to say I responded, right? And then go back into yourself, say, well, actually, right? It's all dependent on this focus that a person can have. He's speaking about an incredible degree of focus, right? But we each in our own little world need to try to develop as much of a focus, right, as we can, and to work towards this the height, this level that the famous expression, right? If you reach from the stars, at least you won't get your hands full of mud, right? So that's what we need to try to do. We need to try to do our best towards this.
Do you think he comes to these words by studying like Abraham, Moshe, Yaakov, and these people? Could anybody be like this?
I don't know. I'm sure.
I am.
Not nowhere near.
Besides Robin and the Chavetz Chaim, the Vilna Gaon, I mean, we have had amazing people. Yeah, but it's important to realize that even those amazing people, they weren't born that way, and they had to have had their own struggles and their own stumbles, right? And that's how they became. So we don't beat ourselves up over our own stumbles, and we recognize our own struggles, and we hope that we get better, right? But everyone has their struggles, and everyone has had their stumbles. So
it's interesting, Rabbi. There's some, I guess, religious philosophies that believe spiritual if you withdraw from the world and you're just very cut off from the world, but you have no challenges then.
Yeah.
And, or maybe you still do, but it's just nothing like like this.
Yeah. Yeah, and Judaism is all about being involved in the world. Kiddush is this prisha, separating oneself, and a much higher level is kedusha, which is being involved and incorporating and uplifting that. And we say that very often, right? Other major religions, well, one of them will look down on any marriage relationship, right? And we view that as being kedushin. Right? Another one will prohibit any alcoholic beverages, right? And we make kiddush on that on a Friday night, right? It's not shutting out the world. It's being involved in the world and doing our best to elevate it. Yeah. Okay, my friends. Good. We'll call it over here.
Shakar.
Somebody, pen or pencil, somebody. Thank you, Gabriel. You can toss it. Thank you very much. Okay, give me the pages.
6-1 for Safaria.
6-1. Okay.
303 for Valentine.
243 and 303. Great.
And 243 for this one.
Yeah, 243, 303, 6-1, and I'm Perek Vav over here. Resh Mem Vav. Okay. I'm going to Florida on Friday for a rabbinic conference. That's going to be the first part of the week. Then I'm going to take some personal time off and visit my kids in Florida. And then Natalie and I just have a little time off in Florida. So I will be
You
away
ask us
the
first?
next, I'm sorry?
Did you ask us?
I'm
first?
telling you.
Oh.
So the next 2 Mondays we won't be meeting. Okay.
I will be back.
When are you off to Israel?
Next week.
Next week.
Oh, till April?
Yes.
Oh,
Beautiful.
wow, nice.
I
Have
was
fun.
going to ask you,
Really nice.
you went to another rabbinical conference and